So I just watched the Call of Duty World War II reveal, and I want to talk about a few things I saw there, or that have been mentioned. The first thing, or let's talk about the content that they showed. Most of the time they just talked about the campaign, and they invited a few people, and they didn't really tell you anything about the campaign. What we know now is that we play as an American set in World War II between 1944 and 1945. His name is Red something something, and he's going to be the only character we are going to play as. So there isn't going to be a British campaign, there isn't going to be a French or a Polish or a whatever campaign. We are just going to play solely as an American, which is the first bad point. You may be asking why that is a bad point. Well, all previous World War II Call of Duties had at least 2 or even 3 campaigns, campaign characters and different characters. You know, you always played as an American and a Russian one, which is way more interesting than just playing as an American once again. Even if that game is released 10 years after the last World War II Call of Duty was even released, you're playing again as a fucking American. There are so many more interesting stories they could talk about, but no. We have to take an American yet again, and we're going to play it between 1944 and 1945 yet again. Nothing new. This is just fucking abysmal. I mean, why are they doing this? They had so much potential to make this game at least somewhat fresh. They always said, yeah, we're going to go back to boots to the ground. Yeah, if you're going to be playing in World War II, you're going to be boots on the ground. You ain't gonna jump on fucking walls and run on them in World War II. Yeah, I mean, that's literally everything we know now about the fucking campaign. And they said, yeah, it's going to be great and awesome and the most and best game ever produced and blah blah blah. They showed a bit of gameplay footage. They just showed a trailer where you could see that it's almost 100% cinematic trailer, so no real gameplay. We saw a few times you're running around with an Aaron Garand and the famous ping sound and the reloading animation and all that crap. Yeah. Then a few seconds were used to talk about the multiplayer part. So the multiplayer is going to be, as I said before, and they talked about that maybe 15 or mentioned it 15, 20 or even more times, it's going to be boots on the ground. So you're just running around, no jumping, no double jump, no wall climbing, sliding and whatever. Just plain old standard, I should say standard gameplay, nothing fancy here. And the multiplayer is going to be, or let's say that the whole game is going to be realistic and tactical and immersive, but the multiplayer on the other hand is fast-paced and old-fashioned Call of Duty style. That doesn't fit together. You can't play Rising Storm, which is, by the way, a great, maybe not the most realistic, but 10 times more realistic than Call of Duty first-person shooter set in World War II, or Red Orchestra 2, it depends on what kind of front you're fighting on. And you can't combine that kind of realistic gameplay with fast-paced action. Nobody wants to die from one fucking round. If you're gonna to make it realistic, one Thompson round, a 145 ACP round from a Thompson from 5 meters away are going to kill you. It's impossible to make it realistic on the one hand, tactical on the other hand, and it should be fast-paced and fun between there somewhere. It's just impossible. So what I think multiplayer will be your standard Call of Duty. Just look back at Call of Duty 2 and past, maybe Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty, especially Call of Duty 5, because it will really look similar to Call of Duty 5, I think. Which isn't a bad thing. Call of Duty 5 is my favorite game, but I think they had enough time. They had 3 years to figure something unique out, but no, they are going to play the safe game again, and to do the Call of Duty cycle is repeating itself. It's just stupid. I wasted 45 minutes of my life on that stream, and I actually knew nothing new. The guys there were talking about fucking suits and how they love to run around in the suit, and it's amazing, and it felt so refreshing. And they talked about Dog 2. I mean, I'm watching that stream to get new information, to get new gameplay, to get screenshots of that game. I may be opt to buy in the near future on November the 1st, by the way. I mean, why are they wasting 45 minutes showing something we already knew? We already knew the campaign is going to be set there. We already knew how the multiplayer is going to be looking like. The only thing that wasn't quite fixed yet, or we aren't really sure about, was the co-op, because co-op could be an opportunity to make something unique. You know, the first time they talked about co-op, they said, yeah, it's going to be set in between 1944 and 1945, just like the campaign, but it's going to be from the side of the Reich. So I thought you were going to play as what were they called? Volkssturm, yeah, Volkssturm, with Volkssturmgewehren and all those other cheap crap. But no, it's zombies again. And you know, Sledgehammer Games isn't really good at making zombie games, because the only good zombie games were Call of Duty World at War. Maybe Black Ops was okay too, but everything past that was okay, I suppose. It was nothing special. And we lost all of our 4 main characters we loved. Also, I personally loved all 4 of them. So we're going to get new characters we can't relate to. Maybe. There's a small possibility we will get characters we can actually relate to, and that they are funny and unique at least. So zombies, we don't know jack shit about them. They showed one picture and that's it. Multiplayer wise, we already knew what it will be. Campaign is set in stone. But I have to give them 1 point, or maybe a few points, because Call of Duty has a big budget and is well known for its music and sound design. So we are probably going to get great music. We're going to get great sound design of the weapons, so the firing sound is going to be on spot. The ping sound of the famous ping sound. Oh yes, we are going to get a great ping sound. And maybe we will get Hans Zimmer again for the musical part, because he is a great composer. He did many sounds of great movies I really liked, and it would be great if we could have him again. But even if I'm on the plus side now, I have to mention one thing that bothered me the few games before World War II. You know, downloading something like a 60 gigabyte game isn't always fun, because some people are not having the best internet connection in the world. They don't have something like 20 Mbit per second download. People like me, for instance. So if the game is going to be once again 60 gigabyte, I want to see a really, really good looking game. You know, it's on Battlefield 1 tier. Even if it looked like the game is going to be glossy as hell, you know, glossy mud, glossy dirt, glossy shit. But we shall see. I'm somewhat looking forward to this game because, you know, it's World War II. I really like World War II. I know Call of Duty. I know what I will be expecting from Call of Duty. So I'm I might not be sold on that game because we haven't really seen any kind of gameplay footage. I mean real gameplay footage, not this cinematical bullshit they already showed there. So I'm looking forward to E3. I'm looking forward to might be able to play the beta of Call of Duty. And yeah, I will let you guys know anything I will get more information of soon. Hopefully, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for listening. And I hope you're tuning in next time.